Hey everybody, how's it going? So, one comment I keep getting from you guys over and over and over again is Glenn, wow, your mixes are sounding so good these days. What's up with that? Well, I'm using a bunch of new stuff this year that I think works fantastic, but the one thing I'm using that winds up on every single mix I'm doing is this thing. This is the Tegeler Magnetismus, and for you guys wondering, what the hell is that? It's basically a VCA compressor coupled with a analog tape saturation simulator using real magnets and transformers and that kind of stuff to get us that kind of sound. So what's it sound like? This is what's going on here on the drums. I'm using this on all the close mics, kick, snare, toms, all that. This is what I'm getting. Damn, that is super cool. What is going on here? Let me show you what's up. So like I said, I've got this on all of my close mics here. I'm just going to bring this up on my drum bus. I've got a little reel insert going on. This is going through the Focusrite Red 16 line on an analog in and out to the Magnetismus, and then back in. Now, the one thing you got to keep in mind with this is that all the controls are interactive. It kind of reminds me a little bit like a tube guitar amp, where, the treble and the presence controls kind of work off each other, and they sound differently depending on where one setting is relative to the other. The same thing, kind of things going on here with the Magnetismus. It's like you've got your threshold, which is your compressor, obviously. Then you've got your timing. This brings the timing faster, which means your attack and release times are quicker. Your attack and release times slow down the more you turn to the right. You've got your compression ratio. Then you got your makeup gain. The makeup gain is crucial because that's what's going to drive the next section, which is the whole Magnetismus tape emulation kind of thing. And so you're going to want to push that to a certain point. And then you've got the intensity, dial in how much of that flux you want, which is exactly what it's called. I can't believe I've got a piece of audio gear that says flux on it. Doc and Marty would be proud. And then you've got three types of different saturation. You've got iron, cobalt, and nickel, and then finally your output gain. And this is all really important when you're using an analog signal and then putting it back into the digital realm. The great thing about this thing is when you push it too hard, it will let you know, because your kick drums are going to start farting out and not sound good. You can kind of like ride the threshold and get it just to where it just about sounds bad, but it still sounds great. Leave it there. You've got it dialed in. So let me take you through this. I'll show you what's going on with the compression, and then we're going to show what happens when we start driving the tape saturation section of it. And then I'm going to show it on a different mix with the same settings, because once you got this thing dialed in, it's kind of set and forget, which is great. You can just mess with the timing a little bit for the timing of your song, but it's pretty much, hey, once you got it dialed in, it is really, really going to sound good. I love what it's doing on snare drums here, but yeah, once again, let's just dial it in on the close mics, dry, with no reverb, show you what's up. So just make it a little louder right now. So what we'll do is take the threshold back. Let's go fast attack and release on this. Let's go crank up the compression all the way. That's a little piffy. And that's kind of all attack there. I like to set the timing control right around the 7 or 8. That seems to work really well for this particular piece of music. Your mileage may vary, but let's check it out. That's a nice smack on the snare right there. Of course, when you're dialing a compression, how well I like to do is just crank it up and then mess with the timing, see what works best, and then, maybe pull the ratio back a little bit. This compressor in particular really likes the threshold crank down and really likes to work hard. So when you're using the compressor, don't be squeamish with it. Let it rip, let it hit it hard, because you're going to like the results you get. That's pretty cool right there. Now if we're to punch that out, that's just adding a wonderful smack to the snare there. Now, next up, what we're going to do is we're going to start dialing in the intensity, and that really plays off well with the makeup gain control. These two guys right here, they really interact off each other, and then, of course, we've got to set the final level as well. This gets interesting when you start pushing the makeup gain and the intensity. We'll try it with two different ways here, just show you what's going on. We'll crank the intensity up here. Not really doing too much till we start cranking this up. Like I mentioned earlier, when you're dialing it in wrong, believe me, this thing's going to let you know. And that might be just a little too intense for what we want. But having it set this crazy allows us to hear the different types of tape saturation once we start messing around with the Essen and Cobalt here. I'm really actually kind of liking the explosiveness of the nickel there. It just seems to be one's a little bit stronger than the next kind of thing. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull back the makeup gain a little bit till the kick drum starts to resemble a kick drum again. That sounded really good on the snare there. I'm not sure how it's working on the kick. I'm wondering if that's still a little too much. Let me dial this in just a little bit more, see what I can get figured out. I might want to just dial back that drum reverb ever so slightly now. That's starting to get a little bit overwhelming. Now the drums are just so overwhelmingly crushing. I think I need to pull them back just a little bit so we can hear the guitars a little bit more. Like if I start at the beginning of this track, it's like... That snare is kind of overwhelming now. Let me just pull the makeup gain back, or maybe I'll just do that on the RIA insert, or just bring back the drum bus ever slightly. Yeah, that's pretty cool right there. I really like the sound of that. And would you bring the kick up a little bit? Wow, that is just insane. I mean, like, I've kind of been using it the last couple months, just kind of everything's set at medium on this. You know, maybe the intensity dialed back a little bit, but I did a little bit more reading up on it tonight. And they're like, no, hit it hard, hit it really hard and see what it can do. And I really like just how explosive it makes that snare sound. Damn, I've certainly not run into a plugin that can do anything like this. Man, that's really cool. Now, I was saying this kind of is a one-size-fits-all solution. Once you kind of get it dialed in, it should work. I'm going to admit right now, though, this is the same drummer. This is Jackson Ward. This is a different track we're using for a different demo. The one we were just listening to was that Tull Mic demo I did a few months ago. And then this was from the Nolly Cali Cabs demo we did. And this has got a lot of toms on it. So we can hear how this is going to work with the toms as well. That reverb can come down. Wow. Yeah, that's just absolutely insane. It didn't need about a lot of adjustment on this mix. Once again, it just needed maybe a little less reverb going on. You guys just saw me reach over to the Trident 80B EQ. I needed to make a slight adjustment for this one just because it's played a little bit different, a little less bass, a little bit less click frequencies going on, and kick drum sits a little better. Kick drum's getting a little farty there, so okay, we're gonna set this up right now and just dial this in ever so slightly to just kind of back that off. Make sure I got enough headroom going on here. Tons. Okay, great. Maybe not. Now, this definitely fattens the kick drum up quite a bit, so we got to be a little more careful with these intense double bass runs that we don't completely overdo it. You can hear as soon as I pull the makeup gain back, the kick drum just kind of thins right out, so it's really just a little bit of game of give and take at this point, just to get it tweaked in a little bit more. I don't have to make a lot of adjustments, but apparently I do have to make a little more adjustments than I was expecting to with this song. But again, there's this long, intense double bass run, and I don't want it to fart out. Also bring the kick back a bit here. I think the drum reverb is actually adding a lot of nastiness here, so I'm going to play with that a little more too. Maybe we'll do a roll off on that and get some of the bottom end mud out of it. That sounded nice right there. Gotta be careful there. That's pretty good right there. Let's try that just here to make the better reverb. Bring the reverb down a little bit. Bring some of the low frequencies down on it a little bit. Yeah, that snare is absolutely intense right there. Wow. So yeah, the double bass drums works a little bit better. The toms are great. The snare is just insane. I love the sound that I'm getting with this thing. And again, without the Magnetismus, I would not be getting the snare sound. Not even close. Now, when I originally did this, I had a bit of a sample blended in on the kick. Maybe I should bring that back in and see what I get. It's just like a little 37% blend. think it's working really good right there. Let's check this out in this next double bass run. All right, so that's the Tegeler Magnetismus. If you're into mixing drums like I am and you want to kind of get things going so you can push it right over the edge and just get some really intense snare and tom sounds and kick sounds and all that stuff, check out the Magnetismus. This is exactly the box you are looking for because, wow, I've never got drum sounds like this before. Not ever. I just absolutely love what this thing is doing to snares. It's absolutely incredible. You can find it online at Toman, and of course I'll have a link to the Tegeler website for all the details you're ever going to want to see on this thing. Now, word to the wise, this thing is not cheap. This is a serious investment for somebody who's seriously into recording drums and all kinds of transient material. For me, it just lives on my drum bus, and it's something I go to with every single mix, and it's definitely getting used every single time I do a demo here on the show on the drums. You guys are hearing the Magnetismus. It is one of the most incredible boxes I've come across in a very long time. Like I said, I don't think I've found a software equivalent of this thing yet. I've played it with a lot of tape saturators over the years, but nothing's ever come close to what this thing can do. Can I recommend this? Yes, wholeheartedly, absolutely. This is definitely going to push your mixes over the edge into some new territory you probably haven't ever got before with software. I can't say enough good things about it. You just run a signal through it, it's going to sound better. All right, that's it for this show. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.